Ladies and gentlemen, man, it is a rich month for content, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very rich month for content. Man, I was just in my Discord server. I'll put the link below. Join my Discord server if you guys want to send me awesome shit. Um, I was just chilling out in my Discord server, vibing, cooling, chilling, and all of a sudden I get a message and they say, "Hey, AG, there's voice calls of Sarah Boone. There's voice calls of Sarah Boone's boyfriend's brother. Basically, there's voice calls of them being interrogated by police all over." I'm telling you, it is a bunch of info about Sarah Boone. So we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into that. All right, so you guys already know that's our next topic. We've been wanting to do Sarah Boone for so long, and I just didn't have that much information to work with. I was busy, and I was working, but now we cut down from work. I'm actually not working anymore. We're going full fledged, people, and we found some info. First of all, I need to shout out the channel because damn, they have some fire shit. It's called The Journey to Justice. Everybody go subscribe. They have all the uncut calls just listed out for you to go listen to if I'm annoying as for you. And shout them out. And other than that, people, let's go ahead and check out these phone calls, these recordings, folks. I'm excited. Anyways, grab the stuff you guys need, the ganja, the liquor, the liqueur, you know what I'm saying, the snacks, whatever y'all need. Let's do this thing.
Today's date is February 26, 2020. The time now is approximately 13:22 hours. This is in reference to Orange County case number 20-017904. I'm currently located in my unmarked agency vehicle outside of yard in Orlando, Florida. In the car with me is my partner.
I forgot that this happened in Florida. Leave it to people in Florida, bro. Sarah Boone, the Florida woman who suitcase Sarah. The Florida woman who zipped her boyfriend in a suitcase and killed him. Crazy. Leave it to the Floridians, man.
Scott Lower.
And in the front seat is, sir, can you state your name for me?
Juan Torres.
And your birthday?
31.
Okay. And you are the brother to George Torres Jr., correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It came to my... Your parents had explained to me that you had a conversation with George a few days ago. Do you recall that specific date?
Yes. It was Sunday.
On Sunday. So Sunday, we're looking at the calendar together, the 23rd?
The 23rd.
Okay, so February 23rd, you guys had a conversation. Do you recall what time that conversation took place?
7:30. Well, it finished at 7:30.
Do you remember what time it started? Do you by any chance still have it in your call log?
Does it do it when... So it had to be 7:30. Because when you call, it clocks it. It doesn't do it at the end. It starts it.
It starts it, and
so
then it tells you how long you talk for.
So it was 7:30.
Okay. If you do have it in your call log, I'd love to take a picture of it if you still have it.
Police, they want to be thorough. She said that like 3 times. Like, hey, let me get that call log. Hey, but just the call log. Let me get the exact call log. Like, yeah, they're not playing. But yeah, this is George or Jorge Torres's brother, man. And listen, I listened to a little bit of this. He has some things to say about Sarah. He has some things to say about her. So let's continue on and see what's up.
Something over here.
So it'd be Sarah. Okay.
But,
if you click, I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
There we go. Do you mind if I take a photo?
No, it's fine.
Okay. And so it says you received an incoming call at 7:30, and you guys spoke for 4 minutes.
Yes. We was talking. I was playing dominoes with my kids and my wife. And at first I wasn't gonna pick it up. Then I picked up.
Okay.
Because they were always fighting and stuff with the alcohol. So
I don't know if you guys are hearing them, but he said he picked it up basically because they were always fighting. I mean, sure, you didn't have to tell. You don't need a detective to realize that these two were toxic for one another. I was in a toxic ass relationship. Same thing. Every other day it's a fight. Every other day it's a fight. Imagine fighting every other day. That is horrible. Like, thinking about it now, it's like, fuck, dude, what were you even doing? It's like, so anyways, I understand what it's like to be caught up in a toxic relationship, but I feel like, and in the back of your head, every time you're in this toxic relationship, in the back of your head, you're like, I could end up getting hurt or killed, or I could end up accidentally hurting or killing her. You know, there's always that little thought in the back of your head, but then you always reassure yourself, but we love each other. We just have issues. She would never do that to me. Well, lo and behold, what the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? It's always in the back of your head. At least if you put in the comments if you've been in a toxic, maybe not abusive, but just toxic, screaming at each other, throwing things at each other, punching stuff, breaking shit, breaking windows, you know, that type of shit right there. That's the environment to get killed in. And I'm not even being dramatic. That's the environment where you die. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great example of that. So if anybody's in that type of relationship, yeah, it's scary, yeah, it's hard, whatever, get the fuck out of there, people. You'll be a lot more peaceful and you'll be a lot better off by yourself. For real, for real. Believe me.
he started talking to me. He was calm, so I was like, oh, okay. So I put it on speaker. So my kids are there, like, they're joking around with him, and he was joking around with them. And we're talking, and then he's talking to me about when we was kids. And then, like, a couple minutes after that, that's when I hear in the back start arguing with him. No, I have to call my brother. I have to talk to him. And he's like, no, I'm talking to my brother. It was her phone. So, and then she starts arguing and telling him that, no, tell him what you've been doing to me. You choked me, this and that. But he was calm. And he was like, okay, I gotta let you go. And then he said, I love you. And I told him I love you.
Damn.
Basically, that was it.
That was the last call they had. That little bee at the back of him buzzing and biting, and no, tell him what you did. Man, listen, it's Sarah's fault all the way. I know he must have had some he had some hand in it. He participated in the violence and the toxicity 100%, but she, ladies and gentlemen, was the root issue. I promise you that. We did the interrogation in a live stream before. I might repost it just so you guys, the ones who haven't seen it, can see it. It's she's the problem. Once you see her and you understand how her brain, once you understand how that little noggin of hers works, you understand right then and there that this bitch is crazy. And she feeds off of the negative energy. That's what she feeds off of. She, you know? But anyways.
So she yells in the background, tell him what you've been doing to me.
Yeah.
You've been choking me.
Yeah.
Did you ask him anything about that?
No, because the thing with them, they would fight and they would hit each other. Because there was times he came here and she had hit him with a phone and he had a black eye.
See,
so
this is the type shit that you think to the back of your head, like, yeah, I could die. Yes, you can. Don't do it.
Was like...
Did you witness that?
I didn't get to see it, but
okay.
He told me himself.
Okay.
So
you guys know that there's domestic between the two.
Between them. And I told them, get out of there, get out of there. I would tell them leave. And what's crazy is that he would leave, come here, and she would call and tell him to come back, and she would come and get him. So she had the car, he didn't have a car.
Right.
So.
You said that he
And that's the other thing, men. This is for the men. Ladies, log out. Turn the video off for a little minute. Or skip about 5 minutes ahead. Not playing. Yo, for the men out there, you can't be no broke-ass piece of shit, bro. Now, there's a difference between struggling and having your babe right there holding it down. That's a beautiful thing. But the vibe I'm getting off of Mr. Torres here is that he was one of them leechy men. It's almost like I'll supply you with some dick, you fall in love with me, I'll keep dicking you down, and you pay for everything. That's how a lot of guys get. That's how a lot of men get around. You know, they get the game, they take it to the girl's house, they fuck the shit out of her, fuck her whole mind up, fuck her whole head up. You know what I'm saying? Fuck her whole head up. She loved this man now. She want to have his children. She thinking about the world with him. Meanwhile, bro is only there for the shit. He's only there for the house, for the car, for the phone, for you know, for the benefits. So, gentlemen, we gotta do better. We gotta do better, gentlemen. We gotta be the ones doing shit. You know, you don't have to be a millionaire. Just be working, bro. Work on that shit. Because they like, oh, he didn't have a car, so she picked him up. Understandable. Not everybody has a car. Oh, he didn't have a phone. He was using her phone. What else do you use from her is the question. You know? So I kind of understand why he was probably staying with her, because it was beneficial until it wasn't. Damn, that thing scares the shit out of me. My sign fell over. Yeah, it was beneficial until it wasn't, ladies and gentlemen.
Calm.
He was calm, relaxed. Like he would. I can tell because my brother's been drinking for a long time. We tried to get him help before.
Right.
And I can tell when he was like really drunk, and he wasn't that drunk that night.
He wasn't.
So when you're describing him as calm, that's an indication that he hadn't been drinking that much.
That he wasn't that drunk. No.
Okay. When he's been drinking, does he get really excited?
Sometimes he gets excited, and you can tell he like slurs his words, and and I can tell like he gets really emotional, and sometimes starts crying and.
Okay. And none of that happened that night.
No, none of that.
I hate hanging out with a crying drunk, bro. I have never been one to cry. I probably cried like twice. Shit-faced, and that's because somebody told me a beautiful story and it just made me cry. I was just like, damn, that shit's beautiful, bro, and I started crying. But listen, I got my shit together. Like, I'm not trying to, like, we having a good time. I started crying and I was like, oh, I started laughing it off. I was like, man, you had me crying over here, bro, what the fuck? But like, I hate me a crying drunk, bro. That shit be so, that shit just be killing the vibe. It's like, all right, boys, time to go home. John's over there crying about his girlfriend from 4 years ago. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's time to go home, boys. Like, that shit, I don't like that shit, bro. I know a few people who cry drunk, and they're like the homies, so it's like whatever, but I don't like that shit. For those who know me, you know who you are. If you be crying around me when you drunk, please, I don't know what to tell you. Stop doing that shit.
Have you ever witnessed them physically fight?
I've seen them because I've been to their house, and she's come out all crazy. I went over with my wife, and they had called me to go over there. She had called me to go over there. Sarah had.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'll come over. That he wanted to see me, so I went over. And as soon as I get there, she comes out crazy because she saw some guy peeing around the corner, and she was trying to fight the guy and argue with the guy. And my brother was like, yo, calm down, just calm down. And it was like, I went to that. That's why I would try to avoid everything. Like, I would call, whenever he called me, I talked to him. I tried to talk to him. But it was always, like, they were always.
Did she physically touch George, or was she just getting really upset?
Like she came out upset. But there's a person, I can't remember, somebody seen him because he was on a bike one day. And he told me, I can't remember the person it was because he was on a bicycle and she hit him with the car. And I can't remember who the person was. And he told me.
Okay.
Yeah, Sarah was going to kill somebody eventually. That lady was going to do a DUI or a hit and run. She was about to commit manslaughter somehow. It was a matter of time until Sarah ended up in the system. She was in a cycle of self-destruction, you know? And I mean, people can change themselves and figure it out and save themselves from that. But it did not look like Sarah had any interest in that shit. Like, is she knocking fools off of bikes? She over here throwing phones at her boyfriend, grabbing his throat, trying to. And then what happens when the man reacts and punches you with his man hands and gets you off of him? Then he's the bad guy, right? Right? Exactly. So again, and he is. To the rest of the world, he'll be the bad guy. So the best thing to do in that situation, disengage, run away. When the crazy bitch goes to the bar, go back and take your clothes and leave forever. Delete her phone number, delete her email. You know what I'm saying? Like, move on. Easier said than done. I definitely get that, but would have saved his life.
Have you ever seen any marks on George?
Yeah, around his neck,
Like what kind of marks?
like the time she hit him with the phone.
Okay.
He had a black eye, scratches all over his neck.
Would you see Sarah every time you saw George?
Off and on. Like, if I would go over there, I would see her with him. And then sometimes if he ever came here, I would see him. Or sometimes when I would go over there, he would just come out and I wouldn't see her.
So you more saw your brother than Sarah?
I think it was equal.
Equal?
Because I've seen her. Sometimes she had marks and stuff. So
and what do you mean by marks?
Like bruises and stuff too. They used to beat each other.
They used to beat each other. That's crazy. You would usually hear someone say, yeah, he used to beat her. Or, yeah, she used to beat him. Bro said they used to beat each other. Fuck.
And where were her bruises be?
I've seen on her arm, black eyes too.
Okay. Did George ever confide in you about their domestic problems? Like, did he ever tell you? Is there anything else that he's ever told you about him and Sarah? Any arguments? Any physical altercations?
No, he didn't really like to talk about it like that. Like, everybody knew it.
Right.
Like, they used to come here and fight and stuff.
Okay.
And my mom wouldn't like it and tell them to go.
Right.
And I know one day she came, it's been like maybe like 2 months. My dad, because she always tried to hug everybody. Everybody didn't want to be hugging like that. And she pushed my dad.
I get that, bro. It's like, don't hug me, lady, especially if I don't like you like that. Shit. I don't like, fun fact about AG, I don't like fucking people in my space. That shit be awkward. It's like, bro, get the fuck, like, give me 2 inches. Like, what is that? No, whoa. Give me like 5 inches and communicate with me. You know what I'm saying? Give me like 5 inches. I don't want to see the pores on your nose. If I could see the pores in your face, you're a little too close to me. Back up a little bit. Like, give me a little space. You feel me? Yeah. And someone who tries to force hugs onto you, I know people like that. It's like a power move almost. It's like, yeah, you're gonna hug me. As a kid, it used to happen to me a lot. Then when I got older, I was like, oh, I don't need to hug you. I could shake your hand. I could give you a little side hug. I could tell you no. But yeah, that shit's annoying. I do feel what she's saying. Like, people don't be the huggiest people all the time, ma'am, just because you are.
And my dad fell.
Yeah.
So.
Would they always, would Sarah always be intoxicated when you saw her?
Most of the time.
And what about George?
There was times he was not, he had drank, but he wasn't like drunk. Like, he would try to like eat and try to have her eat because they was always drinking so much. So he was like, we need to eat something. But
did you, like a couple of years ago, did you and your brother have any kind of a falling out? Did you guys get into an argument, a fist fight, or anything?
No. See,
has he gotten into a physical altercation with any of your brothers?
With Farrell, he did. The one that had the long hair.
The curly hair?
Yeah. with him, but it was just
How severe of a fight was this, though?
You could tell. Okay, so these two got along the most. So I could tell that. This one, fuck, I forgot his name. The brother speaking right now, you could tell they got along the most probably, and then the other one they bumped heads because the way he said no, like they never fought, you could tell it's like, oh no, like me and George are always the tightest, the coolest, you know.
not brothers.
Did he have
Anybody go to
to?
the hospital?
No, nothing like that.
Anybody have like bloodied lips, broken noses, anything like that?
Broken eye.
No. Oh, he had with my other brother too, with Mo. George had went to the hospital.
George went to the hospital.
Yeah,
And
George.
it was a few years ago, like
Yeah.
2 years ago, maybe 2.5.
That happened because, she said they was drunk. They was at my Mo's house, at Moses' house. That's the other one.
Moses.
Moses. His name is Moses.
Is it last name Torres?
Torres.
Okay.
He they had got into it because Sarah had came and said that she had George had beat her, and then they got into it. But I wasn't there that day.
See, you see what I mean? She is the devil, bro. She is evil. I mean, I don't want to say she's evil, but yeah, I think she's evil. It's almost like you're coming to this brother's house in his territory, and you're gonna tell his more wild brother, or the brother he doesn't really get along with, that I'm assuming, and you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, and he beat me." Is that how you guys were raised? You're gonna let your brother just put his hands on me because he beat me last night? I could hear the whole story, and the thing is, that's terrible, ma'am. But the fact that you guys are beating each other, it kind of puts me in this place where it's like, well, may the best man win. Not like, but it's like y'all be fighting each other. Y'all don't want to leave each other. May the best man win. And apparently Sarah did. You know, Sarah won in that round. The second round, which is the consequences, she might not win at. But, you know.
Moses might. He can tell you about that.
But George did go to the hospital.
George went. George was in the hospital for that.
Do you remember what injuries he sustained?
Something in his eye socket.
The nose, maybe?
I think his nose too, but it had something was wrong with his
Orbital?
Yeah, the orbital. Yeah. But
All right. Is there anything else that you think is important for us to know about your brother or Sarah and their relationship? I'm assuming the 4-minute conversation, he was just kind of like, you guys were just talking at first.
At first, just talking. I would notice that he was okay. It wasn't a fight.
You said he was joking with your kids, and then you hear Sarah in the background,
and then that's when Sarah came.
And then you let him go, or he let you go.
Because he was like, my niece and nephew, that they can hear you, like. So I was like, he was like, all right, bye, and then.
Okay.
How did she sound?
She sounded like crazy, like she always did. Like, she was always like that, crazy. Like, she would just start yelling.
And you see, you can't fix certain people. It's almost like that school teacher that I covered like 3 months ago. She was she kept going to school drunk, and then she got caught for it. And then she went to court drunk, and got caught for it, and got sentenced to more time. Just drunk here, drunk there, drunk everywhere. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people you can't fix. Accept people as they come, which means if they come to you in an unacceptable way, you must then learn to let them go, because that person might change, but guess what? You can't change them. And you waiting for them to change might be for the rest of your fucking life, or until they kill you, like Sarah did to him. You know what I'm saying?
Was she yelling any kind of threats or anything?
No. She was just saying about calling her brother.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you promise and swear everything we've talked about has been true and accurate to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Yes. This ends the recording 13:35 hours.
And that was it, people. Man, you guys got to shout out the channel again. Shout them out, man. Hey, blow her up. She's at 4.9K subscribers. Get her the 5K. The journey to justice. Just uploading, just shooting things off at the hip, man. And this is one, man, listen. This is one crazy situation. But anyways, people, I'm going to get you back in the next one. We're going to do some more Sarah Boone. We're going to mix them up a little bit because these are still older, but it was the first time I heard them. And I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure, but I think it might be the first time some of you guys have heard this stuff yourselves. And, you know, just gearing us up to the Sarah Boone trial, May 13th. Write it down in your notebooks. Write it down in your pagers, in your, you know, in your planners. And we'll see if it actually happens on May 13th. But Gemini season coming up soon. May 13th, Boone coming up soon. My birthday coming up soon. It's going to be a great month. It's going to be an awesome month, people. But until the next one, people, stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all. I'm out of here.